Hello everybody and welcome to Rome Total War. This is Count MRVHS, and we are starting a Seleucid satrap campaign. The goal here is not to eliminate our enemies militarily necessarily, it is to acquire client states, or protectorates as they are called in original Rome Total War. This is something that is seen as, well, it's not an option I see many people take, let me put it this way, and this is not without reason. The diplomacy in general for the earlier Rome is a bit wonky, rather unusual, but there are ways to make it make some sense. There are certainly ways you can use the system, and so that's really what the focus of this playthrough is going to be. It's also a way for me to get a baseline established for the diplomacy systems in original Rome versus the remaster that is going to come out fairly soon. We're playing the Seleucids. This is a faction that is well suited to acquiring protectorates fairly early, as they can make a lot of money if you get over that initial hump. We're playing on medium campaign difficulty as well to keep everything on an even footing. The harder campaign difficulties certainly give the AI more money to play with relative to the player, and so that results in them training a lot of armies, and really the focus of this is not on me dealing militarily with the enemy, but focusing sort of on the diplomacy. So that's going to be the goal here. So let's jump right into it. We have quite a few settlements, but we need to get them in order and start our money flowing in. So we'll get farms going, very high taxes as well. Tarsus, we want walls. Antioch, we do want to train another diplomat here. And I think we want to go with a trader here for the first turn. Hatra wants walls. Damascus, I guess we'll go with a farm there. And I think that's about all we can afford to do. Initially anyway. So we'll send our spy over towards Susa just to get him in there. The Parthians are probably going to attack us or certainly be at war with us fairly soon. But let's end the turn. Okay, we've got a kind of an older husband than I would want, so we'll decline that for now. We are going to need to think about replacing some family members, though, because we have a pretty old faction leader and faction heir as well. Alright, so now we're going to do some more training, I guess. Go with farms in Hatra. And an emissary over here, as well as a trader. Train some hoplites here and in Tarsus. Yeah, let's go with a farm. In Sardis, some hoplites, and we're still making a lot of money. So the goal here is to get up around 100,000, or 50 or so at least. And that's the point at which I really feel secure in trying to get into some diplomatic deals. We've still got our diplomat down here. Now, I'm going to go after Egypt pretty quickly. I'm going to get my armies together. I'd love to have another family member come of age before then. All right, 39. Yeah, sure, let's take him. Okay, he's in Antioch. That's very good. So I think maybe he can start off our war with Egypt. All right, but before that, we want to send our diplomats around to see if we can get some peace, or some money at least, out of some of the other factions. Trader would be good here, I think. Tarsus, still nothing to build. All right, so we should be within reach of Pontus here. Now, this is going to be a problem. Pontus does share a border with us. They're probably going to come down and attack us at Tarsus, or maybe over here in Sardis. But before that, they have a couple of rebel settlements in the area. There's two. There's one in Ancyra and one up here in Bithynia. And usually the AI will try to take care of those rebels before it does anything else. So I'm going to take advantage of that. I think they want to trade with us. The AI typically values trade when you border them. And so because of that, I'm going to ask them for a bit of cash in the hopes that this will kind of slow down their development a bit. So they're offering us, okay, that's more money, but just in a per-turn payment as well as map info. I'll definitely take that. Let's see if they'll also ally with me. I'm not sure if they would want to do that. No. Now, they're sending us a generosity message, which is rather opaque. You know, if you were to demand more money out of them, they still wouldn't accept it. So this may be just a message that pops up when the AI doesn't want to accept whatever deal you have offered. But this is actually a good point for us to talk about the diplomacy screen in general and what it says, and importantly, what it doesn't say. So it tells us that we're neutral. It tells us if we have a current treaty, we've got trade rights, they're paying us tribute, but that's it. In the remaster, however, there's some incredibly useful pieces of information here. First, right at the top, you're going to see a relationship bar, ranking your relationship from 0, which is very low, to 100, which is very good. So that would tell you what your relationship is with that faction. We do not know what our relationship is with Pontus beyond the fact that we happen to be neutral, we happen to be trading, they're paying us money. That doesn't mean that we have a good relationship with them. It just means that we're not currently at war and we're not currently allied. The other thing that the remaster will tell you is what your relative strength is. So militarily speaking, who is the stronger faction? Now, we do kind of have this information, which I'll show you in a moment, in another place, but it's nice to have it on the diplomacy screen here. Presumably also, that is an indicator that military strength plays a role in diplomatic negotiations. In other words, that the AI may be more likely to accept a deal from you if you are in a position of strength. Not 100% sure, but it's nice to see it on the same screen as the diplomacy stuff, which is an indicator that it does matter. Another element is going to be your reputation. So every faction has a reputation, and you'll see yours and theirs on the diplomacy screen. Of course, we don't have that now. The reputation seems to be related to whether you break treaties or not. In the remaster, it looks like you start off with a pretty high reputation, something like 80 or 90% out of 100. And then that can go down if you like cancel an alliance or you betray an enemy, something like that, or betray an ally rather. So that's good to know that there is a reputation system. This is something that many of us had suspected for a long time, but again, this information is not conveyed to the player in any way. And another really useful thing is that when you make an offer, it's going to tell you whether the offer is generous, balanced, demanding. A lot of this stuff is very similar to what you saw in Medieval 2, which came out just a couple of years after Rome 1. And that, to me, is an indication that those systems are in this version of the game. They're in the game, but they're just not displayed to the player. Let's take a look at where those systems are being tracked. If you look at the faction rankings scroll, this tells you how you rank relative to, well, different factors. So I'm comparing me, the gray, to Pontus right now, the blue. In terms of overall ranking, I'm much higher. Now, I don't know what this means. Overall what? Military ranking presumably has to do with military production. So they're outproducing me by a bit. In terms of production, again, does this mean military? I'm thinking military is how many units you're training. But production, does that mean military or is that something different? Not really sure. I'm static for whatever reason. Territorial ranking, neither of us has gained anything yet. But this is the relative numbers of provinces we own. And financial ranking, I've made a bunch of money while they've basically spent all of theirs. And you'll see the AI tends to do that. Population and so on. Now we're back to the beginning. So the game is tracking this stuff. And this is kind of an indication that it may play a role in terms of its diplomacy. Yes, so we're going to send this emissary around while he's in the area to uncover some of these rebel settlements. I can see a couple are already shown. And this tells me that Pontus has uncovered these already. Maybe sending a spy, maybe a diplomat, or an army even around here. Again, when these rebel settlements fall, that's an indication that I need to watch out for Pontus. So we are making almost 7,000 here. You can see that an army of Parthia is headed off to the south. Now, I'm not trading with them. I don't have any relations with Parthia yet. It might be a good opportunity once they head further to attack them, actually. And they could be first on the protectorate list. I do have an agent, though, so let's send him up into the north to see what Parthia's territory looks like, and let's train another one. Okay. So, Antioch. What do we want here? I think we've got to be training military stuff, and I think militia barracks is going to give us levy pikemen. I think that's better, honestly, at this point, to go up the infantry line than it is to get elephants. So, we'll go there. Damascus will get a trader and another militia hoplite unit. Okay. It's a rebel army. That's good. They're on my territory, so that's technically not very good, but it'll at least be something that Pontus will have to deal with if they want to go, you know, towards me. Alright, so the Greeks are at war with a bunch of people. Now, this is a good opportunity, potentially, for me to attack the Greeks, get a ceasefire with them, and force them to pay for it, because they're going to feel under pressure from all those other factions. So there's a Parthian spy in Seleucia. However, the Greeks here are going to have better units in terms of hoplites than me, so we do need to go for numbers. Let's see, Tarsus, I think we want to have some military potentially there. And we can see Egypt building up an army. Okay, the spy got kicked out. That's nice. Let's train another unit of peltists, and I think I kind of want to go with stables here, because the militia cav is potentially going to help me against some of Parthia's horse archers. They're just going to be better in melee. Alright, so we're still making 4,000 if we do nothing, and we're already at 13 grand. So this is very nice. But we do need to look around at what Egypt has. They've got Jerusalem here. We need to start thinking about taking the fight to them once we get some more units trained up. Alright, so they're offering trade rights and map info. So, again, we border Armenia, although it doesn't really look like it from the map. They do border us at Hatra. So, they want trade with us, and I think we can get some money out of them for it. But we'll see. Alright. Now, let's see if they'll ally with us. I don't plan to attack Armenia. Well, maybe that's too much. Let's see. Alliance except or we will attack. Okay. So again, this is very strange. Do they want to ally with us, but I think they also want to attack us. I mean, I'll take it. Sure. Very weird. All right, so we're allied with Armenia. That's going to last about 3 more turns. So we need to start making some decisions. Do we go after Susa, like, fast? It might be a good time to, because he just came of age here. So he's a really good governor. I'll keep him here. And why don't we take pretty much everybody? Well, maybe we may have to leave. 70 should be fine, but... Oh yeah, 70's fine. Okay, so we'll grab both of these. And, yeah, I think that'll be fine. Next turn, we can move over here and put Susa under siege, because I'm thinking that their army is down conquering the rebels. Okay, so here's Armenia. They've fortified the border of this province which they have just taken. It looks like Parthia has an army heading down towards me, so it'll be good to take this settlement off of them before the war starts. Armenia has nothing else to do in the area. There's no more rebels near them, so they're going to be attacking us very, very soon. It'll be good to have that barracks online for that eventuality. Alright, do I I want healing. Yeah, I think we want Asclepios for the growth. You can't build anything here yet. Let's go with gold mines, or what is it? Silver, I guess, is over here. So that's going to be a nice, nice economic boost for us. All right, there's Ankara, still rebel. And it looks like Pontus did take Nicomedia. But we'll just get our diplomat over there to see it for ourselves. All right, that army's still standing right outside the town, and it's gonna be close in terms of how even this all is. All right, we're gonna start training militia hoplites, and we're just going to have to deal with the fact that Hatra is going to come under siege.
Can I be of service?
Right, there's their capital, their family member.
Yes,
I think he's different from the unit that we just saw. All right, we'll get the diplomat over just in this area. Okay, we'll lower the taxes then. Another turn we'll be able to train Cav. Now, we do have a nice opportunity here. There's a family member inside. Bagabinga. He is the governor of this settlement. And so what we could do is set up an army right outside, attack this army, and see if he comes out as reinforcements, which he probably won't. Especially because I'm really overwhelming them in terms of numbers. Yeah, so there's withdrawing. So we're going to go ahead and put this under siege. You can't assault immediately, unfortunately. So now we are at war with Parthia. They do not have any allies, though, so that's all very good. We do have one ally, and they're going to betray us pretty quick. All right, let's go over here, and we'll just keep eyes on Ankara, because when that falls, there's going to be some trouble. All right, so we just finished building our barracks, so now we can go on to something else. I think a blacksmith would be good. We can get our chariots out of there. We can get hoplites out of Tarsus, so we'll go with that, and a trader. And we're a little short on cash in terms of income. We're not making a ton, but we've got almost 20,000. Let's do one more militia hoplite, and then we'll probably get our family member out here. Once we get these levy pikemen. Alright, what are they going to want? Nope, nothing. Alright. The rebels are attacking us. No. No thanks. That's so annoying. Okay. They made friends with the rebels. Alright, fine. Okay, so they've got an army that's going to cross the bridge and try to hit us. I'm going to see if I can push this army back towards the town. Okay, they're going into the town. Well, this is all very annoying. Tell you what, let's get out of here. They're going to attack us in the field. That's fine. Okay. Making 4,000 or so. Alright, they don't have that much of a force, but now their diplomat is coming up to talk to us. Usually what seems to happen is that is the first stage in war. Lower the taxes a bit. The AI tends to go for trade pretty early. Get them over there. Yeah, we get all these guys over here. Alright, he's just a fine commander. This guy's making us a bit of cash by being in the settlement. Let's see. We take 8 of them. We don't want the peasants. Somebody who's not a peasant can come along, and we will head down. We got a full stack here, so let's go with some more hoplites. And some more hoplites over here. Okay, now we can train some cav. 1600. So we could go for a blacksmith here. Or roads. But let's go with the Hephaestus Shrine. We'll start getting our military up to snuff. All right, and we could build a... Let's go with Asclepios here as well. All right, I think that's good in terms of unit training.
Yes, my lord. At once. You are mistaken.
All right, here we're just looking to uncover some settlements.
You are mistaken, sir. Yes,
You have a diplomat here, so this will be nice.
yes, my lord.
I'm rich enough that I could theoretically start, bribing some of these units. How much would this cost, for example? 8,000. So, I could do it. I don't really feel like it at this point. That army is, kind of an annoyance to Parthia as well. Okay. All right, so they're offering trade map information. Now, this is going to precede an attack. I've observed that the AI seems pretty willing to attack you right after they accept trade rights, but if you refuse trade, then they may be more hesitant to attack. So we'll see if that holds out. Okay, they're attacking me. Again, I'm not going to waste troops fighting rebels on Parthia's territory. Oh my gosh. All right, clear victory. That is just so annoying. All right, some more cav over here.
My lord, march!
Yeah, and we'll just get him over there. All right, more important battle coming up.
Awaiting your command. Yes, my lord.
Because we've got basically a full stack. And now we can attack Egypt. And they've got really nothing that's terribly dangerous at this point. Alright, so, yep, some peasants. So, first fought battle of the run. The goal here is to beat both of these armies, and then we can walk into the city without having to besiege it. Alright, so we've got just a big line of phalanxes. Yeah, I'm not too worried about this. The city reinforcements are going to come from down there. Yeah.
Ferrymen will be busy today. The enemy have brought more men to fight.
So I'm actually fine with them all coming forward. It looks like there's no cavalry and no chariots, which is great. So we should be able to beat this pretty easily. And we can probably steal the high ground from them as well. I'm a little worried that they may just decide to retreat.
The enemy general flees! Press forward so that the spirit of his army is a broken tool!
All right.
Be praised! The enemy general is killed! Fear makes a home in our enemies' hearts!
Gotta get him, though.
The enemy
Okay.
general flees! Press
Everybody's
forward
routing.
so that the spirit of his army is a broken tool!
All right, so this should be enough in terms of losses for us to be able to take the town. But I forgot how much I suck at phalanx warfare. It has been a long time. So again, this is not about the battles. It's about trying to get a sense of the campaign side of things.
This is a hero.
All right, we lost about 330 or so. But there we go. Sidon is now empty, and we don't have to fight a messy siege battle. We just had to fight a messy field battle. So this has a huge population. I'm tempted to exterminate it, just because. It's going to grow very quickly as well. And we've got the infrastructure here so that we could already start training chariots. That's good. We'll do that right off the bat. Let's see. So we could upgrade this to a Dionysus temple, which is probably okay. This is just going to give us public order, and I think at the highest level, does it do anything interesting? Some law, yeah, some growth. I mean, that's okay. Sidon, you know, like I'm not terribly worried about that, about growth, but we just want to make sure we don't have like governors in there getting a bunch of bad traits. But we're going to get bad traits because we're going to be really rich. All right, so we've captured a town, and I guess now what we could do
My lord?
is see what they want. All right, so nothing, basically. That means they're not ready to ask for a ceasefire, which I kind of predicted. They were not, you know, they only lost one battle in one town. Okay. So we've got a bunch of money coming in now. I think we'll keep Sardis as is. Tarsus will go with one more to make it an even 4 hoplites. And yeah, let's go for mines in Tarsus. And let's go for some cav. I mean, that militia cav is really handy. Let's go with some farms there, and let's now go for roads in Damascus. militia cav in here, and otherwise, let's go for another smith there. Okay, so we're under siege in Sidon. So Egypt is, for the first phase of this campaign, they're going to have just a ton of stacks to throw at us, of course, because they've got great growth down there, which means they're not going to be feeling like ceasefire or coming to any terms anytime soon. Okay. This might be a good point for us to call the episode. We're going to have to fight this battle. I'm going to sally out, and I'm just going to do that off screen. It's not going to be a terribly interesting fight. Of course, if that changes, I can make sure to record it and potentially put it up. But I think that instead, we'll just keep on. We're going to be continuing to trade and build, and I see that Ankara has fallen to Pontus. So pretty soon, we're going to be facing an attack from the north as well as from our south. Now, if you thought, oh, well, maybe you should have gone with an alliance with Egypt, that just would not have held. If you've ever played this game, you know that the AI is not keen to maintain those alliances, especially when they've got all this rich territory that they could be taking. So we were going to end up at war with them anyway. Now at least we've got Antioch free to continue training and building and trying to defend our periphery. So it'll be a little bit of a while before we can get feeling very secure. But I do see that Parthia has left Susa. The rebels seem to be gone. We'll go ahead and put that under siege. And actually, you know what? We can assault immediately. I'm going to keep this, actually. Actually, maybe I'll enslave. Yeah, let's do that. So that's going to help with public order here a little bit. We'll still have to lower taxes. We can repair the wall, and we can retrain all these guys. It doesn't hurt as much with population. But we're already to the point here where we can, I think, yeah, we're at minor cities. So we could, you know, get up to elephants and phalanx pikemen and stuff right here, which is very nice. So I think that's what we may do. Go for focus on this being a cav settlement. But now we took Susa off of Parthia, and we're sitting in a pretty good position. So thank you very much for joining me with this episode. We're going to continue our attempt at making our mark on this part of the world and seeing about getting some protectorates out of it. But it may take us a little while. So I'll check you out in the next one. Until then, take care.